What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another video. Today is actually my 100 subscriber special. It took me a minute to think of this, and I hope it suffices as a 100 subscriber special. I just was thinking of something I haven't really done on the channel, and so that's what we're doing today. And I might be noticing that, hey, you have your review station out, but there's nothing on it. That is true, because today what I'd like to do for the 100 subscriber special is actually to go back to specifically two versions of Optimus Prime figures that were released in the past that I've had in my collection for nearly like almost like 10, 15 years. Well, one of them is closer to 15, the other one's closer to 10 years. These figures are old by today's standards, and they're unique because I ended up both getting them, and they're very unique in of their own right. But even before we get into those figures, I'd like to thank you guys for the 100 subscribers. That means a ton to me. The fact that people even click on my videos and view them for, however long you do. I don't care as long as you click through, you take a look at my channel, you see what I have to offer you. If you don't like it, then I don't mind if you leave. But if you like it, then I really appreciate it if you stay. So at the end of the day, again, thank you so much for the 100 subscribers. I know it's not a big milestone to much, but for me, as someone who started out as literally a nobody, to have, at this point, I think I'm at 115 currently as I'm recording this, it really does mean a lot to have that kind of support. So thank you guys so much, and I really hope you'll continue watching and enjoying my content. So without further ado, the two Optimus Prime figures we're going to look at today, the way this video is going to be broken down, and I know I'm readjusting my review station right now. It's because the freaking tape is getting loose on the review station, but the way I'd like to do this is we're not really going to do a comprehensive review or anything. It's more of a retro look back and sort of my opinion on how these figures are, how they look, stuff like that. So when it comes to like the transformations and anything like that, I'm not going to go super hard. I'll still review some of the paint, the detail, how they looked, talking about them during their, when they were actually released, like what was releasing around that time, how they compared to some of those figures, all that stuff. Again, it's more of a retro look. It's going to be definitely a free-balled video more than the more sort of structured and scripted. It's not really scripted, but structured videos that I have for the general reviews and stuff like that. So, without further ado, let's get into our first version of Optimus Prime. And so, alrighty, folks. For those of you who grew up watching the original 2007 Transformers film, I'd like to welcome you all to the original Transformers 2007 Leader Class mainline version of Nightwatch Optimus Prime. Now, this was like, I can't remember if they released more Nightwatch Transformers. You'll probably see something on screen right now if they did or if they didn't. But all I remember is that I remember the commercials that they used to have for, like the mainline Transformers, right? Like, especially during this era. And for me, I never got the original Optimus Prime. And by the time I knew it existed, that was long gone out of stores. Because at that time, I didn't understand how, like, I was a kid. I didn't understand how, like, waves worked, right? Like, they'll release these figures in waves. And so I never understood that, and so the only version of this mold that I could ever get my hands on, which is actually very similar to the story of the next figure, because I've actually shown the next figure in a previous review, is Nightwatch Prime. And so this is the same mold as the original Leader Class version, just in a completely different color scheme. I guess their whole idea was that, oh man, they're at night, so... At night? No, they're at night, so they have to have a darker, more... night-themed color scheme. And although I don't necessarily agree with that with this blue, it does look pretty cool. And I think I lost the missile to this, and you can see that these smokestacks are completely bent because they're rubber here, and also because this thing has been in storage for a while. I actually haven't really touched it at all. But yeah, let's take a look at this figure. So I believe, does this... Yeah, so this button used to work. I think it's just out of batteries for mine, but basically it would make truck sounds if you press this button up here. But taking a look at it, it still looks really good. Like, I can't deny, like, even looking at this figure today, it still looks really good for what it is. You can see that the paint is really nice, actually. I do like the silver and the black. You know, you have this little gradient here going from this, dark turquoise all the way to this black is really nice. The silver flames also work really well. Rims are pretty nice. They're also rubber tires. This is an era where rubber tires were still much more frequent than they are now. Very rarely do we actually get rubber tires. The last rubber tires I think I can remember is the Missing Link, which is the original G1 Optimus Prime with modernized articulation. But yeah, at the end of the day, it does look very cool, and this is where you can store the guns. So here's the gun. Again, I think I lost the missile. It was purple. Well, it's probably in storage, but it's in a bin with a gazillion different things. But it's pretty nice, but it doesn't really replicate the gun he had in the movie. But it's still pretty nice, and you'll see how that works in robot mode. But all you have to do is you see this little tab here, and then you can just take this little section here, and then you can just tab that in like this. Looking at this vehicle mode, it's definitely cool. At the end of the day, even with the original color scheme, I actually think that this is fine. Like, I have no issues with it. The only issue I kind of have with this truck mode is there's a lot of gray here. I wish this was a little bit better painted. Maybe a more gunmetal gray would have been a little more appropriate for this mold and everything like that. But at the end of the day, this is 2007. This is when this was released, 2007, 2008. So it was many moons ago, 16 years ago. It's crazy if you're thinking about that, right? 16, 17 years ago that we got this figure. This is really old. So at the end of the day, you can think of what you want to think, but I'm just happy I have this figure. Now, you guys might be wondering, where's the box? Well, I'll just tell you this right now. The box is long gone, man. I remember where I opened this. I remember when I bought it, and that box is long gone. So I'd love to show you a box. Maybe I'll flash a picture of it on screen right now. But yeah, the box is long gone, so I'm sorry I can't show that to you. But without further ado, I'm actually just gonna do some, editing magic, and we'll take this guy from his truck mode into his robot mode. So, alrighty, folks, and here we have the Nightwatch Prime in his robot mode, and yeah, this is definitely not accurate. And I'll say this with the transformation, it really actually wasn't all that bad. I honestly think the hardest part about this transformation when it comes to this is getting it back to its truck mode. When it comes to this figure, I mean, what I will say is that it looks really neat. I mean, if you didn't know what it was, I'll say the color scheme just kind of works. You have this nice like light blue to kind of break it up, although I don't necessarily think it goes with everything. In addition, you do have this nice like gold color here, like in the thighs. You see it up here in the shoulders, and you can see it's loose. This is an old figure, so my apologies if this thing is loosey-goosey. But taking a look at the details, you can see the head is actually still really nice. You can imagine with the regular colors, this would still be really good, in all honesty. The other issue I just have with this thing is it feels cumbersome. You can see in '07, like this is just so... It makes articulation so difficult here, and you can see there's just a ton of junk in the back here. And then the gun, like I showed you, will actually plug in here, and then what you can do is you can actually, like, there's a little slider right here under the arm, and when you slide that out, it not only slides it out, but it also slides the gun. The only thing that this thing doesn't have is I think it doesn't have a blade. It doesn't have like his arm blades, and it's funny because he actually used one to kill Bone Crusher in the first movie, but I guess they didn't bother including that. But yeah, articulation is also pretty subpar for figures that we'd like today. It's on the swivel, but it doesn't even go the full 360. These are just old and they don't like tabbing in. You do get a full 360 here. You do get rotation here at the bicep, and you do get more than 90, which is really nice. You also get ratchets, kick forward. Actually, you don't really get kickback because everything runs into everything. You get rotation there, no rotation to the upper part of the thigh. You do get, it's like a below the knee, but you get a little less than 90. Yeah, it's not great. Like, the arms are actually pretty good, and you do get wrist. Actually, no, you don't get wrist. I thought you got wrist. What? Even back then you didn't get wrist? Man, this is a leader class figure. You think you give it wrist. But this was also the day of mechanized, like, stuff. So I think, so when you transform this guy, if I can show this, uh, basically what would happen is like you get to this point, and then what you would do is this, and I'll show this feature off. They did this a lot. They did this with the Megatron figure as well. I have that original Megatron figure actually, but they did this, and you would do this, and then the head would pop up. So yeah, I mean it's something, man. Like, again, the colors work for me, but I wanted to take a look at this just to show you like what figures were like back then, especially if you didn't collect back then or didn't buy any of these figures or weren't really alive or didn't understand how to collect or anything like that, or like you just never bought toys from that era, or you weren't born, even if you weren't born there. But yeah, you can see here, I mean, look at that. That is an absolute mess. But yeah, just taking a look at this figure just brings back so much nostalgia for me as a kid. Again, everything here is just not like, and you even have some ankle articulation, but we can zoom in a little more. You can see the chest is actually pretty nice. You do get some nice detail here. He does feel heavy. I'll say that much. He feels extremely heavy. This is not a light figure. You do get some nice molded detail across, though. The leader class figures, this isn't, I would necessarily say, a bad figure, but it's obviously much more, how do I describe it? It's much more cumbersome and everything like that, and you can tell with this figure's age. But yeah, here is Nightwatch Prime. Very interesting figure, very interesting for sure. And at the end of the day, I have nothing really else much to say besides I just wanted you guys to see this figure because I knew it was something maybe that people wanted to see, because it's very interesting to take a look back at these old figures. And so, time to move on to our next Optimus Prime figure. Alrighty guys, and the next figure I want to show off to you is a figure I've actually shown specifically in the Light of Peace, the Magic Square review, was this figure, the Transformers Masterpiece 10 Platinum Edition Year of the Horse Optimus Prime. This is a figure I know that a lot of people, that I've seen people talk about this on social media, that this is a figure that people have kind of been like fiending to find, but you can see the box is absolutely massive. It's huge. We'll show more details of the box here. Let me rotate this. Let me bring this a bit down. If you open this, you do get the Velcro in there, and you do get, this is where Prime would be. And then here on the side, actually, in this little cutout, you actually get product shots. You get tech specs right there, which is pretty cool. Then you do get that unique Autobot logo, which is very cool for Chinese New Year. This was very, very interesting. And then you had some more nice, like, Year of the Horse stuff. Optimus Prime, Year of the Horse. Got some more nice stuff here. Got like, bringing this up. Got like Year of the Horse, Optimus Prime, that nice logo. You have a nice like description of Optimus Prime here. You go down here, you have a product shot of it with Thrilling 30. You can see, like, Thrilling 30, this is old. This is an old figure. 2014, 10 years ago to this year. And then you also have the regular product shot. So here is all of the stuff. Matrix, the gun, the Energon Axe. It does not come with roller. It does not come with roller at all. But you can see the very interesting color scheme that they went. Now, this is like, it's kind of implied already. This is essentially just MP10, just recolored and with some less accessories. I was never able to get the original Toys R Us exclusive, the MP10 mold. So yeah, without further ado, as we're done really for the most part looking at this box with the very gorgeous artwork, it's time to get this figure out here. So, alrighty folks, here we have the Year of the Horse Masterpiece 10 Optimus Prime in his truck mode, and I gotta say, it looks really cool. I'm gonna say the one thing about this recoloration of this figure that I do kind of prefer over the original, and I know the original is obviously more accurate, and that's what I usually always prefer, but the gold, I mean, taking a look here, you can see the gold in the truck. Absolutely gorgeous, and it's not the Optimus Prime red. This is more like a maroon, and it's really, really nice. You can see the unique Autobot logo that they had for Year of the Horse 2014. Again, it just looks really nice, and the blue is also a darker blue. This is not the brighter Optimus Prime blue that we're used to. This is a darker blue than usual, but very, very nice. Again, you have rubber tires, which I actually think one of mine is cracked. I can't remember if it was, but you have rubber tires, the nice silver rims. Again, everything looks good on this, and I'm really, really happy that I still have it in pretty decent condition. So very, very nice to see this. Now, what I'd like to show you is probably the most unique aspect besides the figure himself of Prime, is the trailer. This is all transparent. This is complete transparent plastic. I've had this thing mostly in the box because it takes up so much damn room to store it that I just decided to chuck it back in the box. But I pulled it out just for you guys. But you can see the nice Autobot logo. I wish they replicated this symbol right here, but you can see this crazy detail that's on the inside of the trailer because it's transparent. In addition, I guess they did do it here on the back of the trailer, but yeah, I would have liked for it to be on the side there. But you do get the nice like stabilizers, I guess, right? You still get the nice stabilizers in this blue transparent. You get the stabilizers here as well. Again, rubber tires. You can obviously just open this, and then you do have the slide out. You do have the slide out thing, and then you can absolutely fit like Masterpiece Bumblebee, Masterpiece Prowl, Sideswipe, something like that in there, so you can absolutely do that. But yeah, very unique. And then to open this thing, all you got to do is just kind of untab that there, and then you do get like the bay, so this is articulated so you can go up and down. This can also rotate here, and then you do have this other arm which can also has a ball joint here. Oh, it has it's more of a swivel here, and then you do have some extra joints here, so very, very cool. Very simple to just transform this, and then you can just flip this up as well. So you do have that repair bay that Optimus Prime had in the show. And then here, if you take a look, let me actually collapse this so you guys can see this. Sorry that it's a bit messed up, but it's hard for me to show this because my review station isn't the biggest. You do have a place you can store the Ion Blaster in there, and then here's where the Energon Axe stores, right in here. Very easy to just pull that out, and it's very, very pretty. I actually really like this transparent blue Energon Axe. I think it looks very, very neat. So to very easily close that back up, like I said, all you got to do is fold this down, and then you just close it back up like so. You can fold these up, and then push that, open this up, sorry. Open that up, and then push it in, and then close this. And then if you want to actually attach Optimus Prime's trailer to him, if you look here on the back, you do have these two tabs here, and then on the bottom of the trailer, you do have those two right there, and then you just got to line it up, and only issue with my Optimus Prime is that unfortunately the legs don't like to stay together the best these days. But yeah, there you go, Optimus Prime with this trailer, and it looks really, really nice. Again, would I prefer to have the original colors? Of course, yeah, because it's the most accurate. But at the end of the day, this is still really, really good. And I think it's very unique with, the fact that they even decided to do this is what gets me, is like they gave us this awesome recolor. It's very unique in and of itself, but again, I can't complain because I was at least able to get my hands on the mold without paying ridiculous prices for the original. Alright guys, I just want to interject real quick here because unfortunately, of course, in my 100 sub special, I end up screwing up. So the way my headset works is when you flip the microphone up, it self-mutes you. When you flip it back down, it unmutes you. Well, usually when I'm in the middle of transforming something, I will flip my mic up so that my mic doesn't catch any of the sounds of it. And then I'll flip it back down when I go back to re-record. Well, guess what I didn't do? I didn't end up re-flipping it back down to record the audio through my headset microphone, and instead, unfortunately, what I'm going to end up doing, and you'll notice, is that it'll switch to my iPhone audio, because that's what I use to record these reviews. So, my apologies for this happening, of course, in a 100 sub special, of course this had to happen, but I really still do hope that you guys enjoy it. I just wanted to interject here and let you guys know what was going to happen. Again, I really apologize for this, but I really hope it doesn't hamper the video all too much. So thank you guys again so much for taking the time to watch me, look at me, even if you didn't like it, even if you liked it, even if I screwed up. I really do appreciate everyone who watches these videos. It means a lot to me, so thank you so much, and back to the video. And so without further ado, just like we did with Nightwatch Prime, I'm going to snap my fingers and we'll see this this beautiful Transformer in his robot mode. Alrighty, folks, and here we have the Year of the Horse Masterpiece 10 Optimus Prime in his robot mode, and I gotta say, this is where all of that stuff comes through. This is really pretty, and I think it's really, really cool looking. It still retains the regular Optimus Prime colors, but gives a good spin on them to pay homage to Chinese New Year, in addition to giving us a really, really cool color scheme. The major color scheme change is in the face. I mean, you can see the gold there in the crest is really nice, and then you can even see where his eyes are. That's painted a darker gray compared to his face mask, and the darker blue still comes across here. It's actually pretty close to the Takara version of the original MP10 mold, but yeah, you can see here the blue there, you can see the red transparent right there, the gold comes out there, the gold smokestacks, the gold here on the oil, the canisters here on the sides of his legs. This Optimus Prime obviously is still dated, because we obviously see with MP44 that we can do much better than this when it comes to cartoon accuracy. But you have to understand, this was many years before that, and this for its time was simply the best figure we had ever seen of Optimus Prime. This was like the definitive Optimus Prime for a very long time, until we got like the Earthrise one and stuff like that, and the Siege one. And then they, started to change stuff with that. But yeah, you can see this is a fantastic figure. And even to this day, the articulation is still good. You do get a full ball joint up here. Well, it's like a swivel with the joint, and then you can go up and down. You do get full 360 here, rotation out the upper part of the bicep. You get 90 at the elbow. You get full wrist, and then the hands, I believe, also open. Yep, it's the one finger, three finger thing, which is really, really nice. You still get that. Very, very cool. You do get full waist, which is always a good thing with these figures. You get full forward, you get full back, you get more about 90 at the knee. You do get rotation at the knee, and then you do get ankle rocker. So you still can get some really sick poses with this guy for how old he is. So really, really cool stuff, though. Like, I have no complaints. I'll show you some of the accessories, too. So when it comes to the axe, all you got to do is just shove this on his fist. I believe the thumb goes on the outside here. And I'm dropping stuff again like I did in the last review. Stuff it like that. And there you do have, it's a little tough. Haven't done this in a long time, but you do have the nice Energon axe right there. And then the Ion Blaster actually stores in the back here, if you guys didn't know. So you just got to flip this. You can take this out, and it totally makes sense when you're thinking of the cartoon. And then the Ion Blaster is this really kind of like interesting gold and golden brown color. It's like a bronzy color, and then you do have the tabs there. So here you guys can take a look at it. Very unique. And then you do have the tabs in the hand, and the tabs on the handle, and then you just got to shove that into his hand. And he still holds it extremely well. So he still holds it very, very well. But yeah, here he is with his accessories, his Energon axe, as well as the Ion Blaster, which is really, really cool. And then the last thing I obviously have to show you is the Matrix. So if I open up his chest, you can just flip this up as well. And then you can take this and flip that out. And then there is his Matrix, and see if I can get this out. Yeah, there you go. And it's pretty heavy in and of itself. You can see it's changed. It's a green instead of a blue, but very nice overall. Feels really good to handle. Like, this has got some weight to it. Feels like a mini paperweight. So very, very cool Matrix. I'm very happy that they even decided to recolor the Matrix. But yeah, when it comes to these Optimus Prime figures, it's very interesting the directions that they decide to go. The Nightwatch, both completely different lines, both completely different ideas on what they wanted to do, but very unique in of their own right, and I oddly really like them. So at the end of the day, I can't really complain all too much about them. So I really do enjoy these figures, despite how out there they kind of are. But yeah, I think that's really about it when it comes to taking a look at these, because these retro look backs were just me sort of rambling about them, talking about them, and giving you guys maybe a bit of nostalgia for those of you who collect these figures. So I hope you guys did enjoy sort of going back in time with me to look at figures that probably not a ton of people have at this point in time. So yeah. And so, folks, I don't know if this felt any special, but it's something I haven't done, and I kind of am glad I ended up doing it. It's just very interesting. I'm sorry if the video was a little bit freebally, but I really do hope that me just talking about these, showing these off to you guys was sort of, maybe a nostalgia hit for a good chunk of you, or showed you guys who didn't know about these figures something new that you didn't know before, about the Transformers collector line, about the figure line in general, on the unique stuff that they've released over the years. And so, yeah, this isn't a review. So I'm not giving these guys the scores, and I'm not really going to leave any links in the description to any of the stores that they usually do, because these guys are really hard to come by these days. These guys are very, very difficult to find, both of these, to my knowledge. Again, like I said, when I was talking about Year of the Horse Prime, I don't think that many people have either of these figures. They're very unique. Not a ton of people bought them. I guarantee you, a very few quantity who decided to buy both of these. But again, they were both in the same realm of, like, I didn't get the original molds, and so I wanted to have the molds, and these were the only ones that were readily available at reasonable prices at the time. So at the end of the day, yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this special look back at these figures and the unique Optimus Primes that we've gotten over the years, because I feel that sometimes we need to have like a look back on where we came from in comparison to where we are today, to see how much we've evolved, especially when it comes to the Transformers collecting scene. Very, very cool stuff. So I think that's really about it. And before we end off and I do my regular outro, I just want to, once again, if you guys made it to the end of this video, I thank you so much for doing that. That means a ton to me. And in addition to that, I once again thank you for the 100 subs. Again, to a lot of people, that doesn't mean anything. People have 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 100 times more than I do, 1,000 times more than I do, 1,000,000 times more than I do. But at the end of the day, I'm just thankful for the fact that there are people like you guys who are watching right now, who decide to click on my videos, who decide to even watch them and bother taking the time out of your day to do so. And so that means a lot to me, and I really, really hope that that comes across to you guys watching at home, wherever you are in the world. No matter what race, creed, religion, color, sexual orientation you are, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just glad that you click on my video and watch it to begin with. Very, very awesome, and I can't thank you guys enough. So I think that's about it. So I once again thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, and also follow me in the socials. Those will be linked down in the description below. And with that, guys, I once again thank you so much for taking the time to watch this retro look back, and I'll see you all in the next video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace, and thank you.